Hi, how are you? So let's um, talk about some of the other services that you see on my flyers. One of my favorite um, job and career. It's been a career because I've done it for over 20 years. Is working with children, with babies, childhood age children, and even youth. I mainly work with babies and childhood age youth for over 20 years. And I, one of the activities that I love to do, work with children, or do with children, or engage children in rather, is reading. And that's because reading has impacted me from a very young age. My mother had a preschool. My sister that I follow was a New York City educator, worked with Board of Education for over 20 years. So teaching is a part of us. But one of the favorite activities in working with children for me, because it was my favorite and still is my favorite, is reading. I strongly believe that reading can impact a child in such a way that it helps them out in life, and that's because it does the same for me. Reading builds children's vocabulary. The earlier you start, the better. I'm a strong advocate for reading from the child is in the womb. I was doing that with my son, and I see my son is just an excellent person when it comes to speaking and writing. And I've seen it with the children I've worked with that they're very good. They start speaking early. And so reading has a lot. And also, the other thing is, reading help a child use their imagination. I was that child. Will be imagining when you want to read. And if you're a great reader who knows to be animated, oh my God, you can really impact a child. The thing that impressed me the most and that I love to see with the children that I've worked with over the years is seeing a child who can't read, like a 1 year old, 2 year old, but because you read to them a lot and you're so good at it and you did all the things that will motivate and inspire them, that child would read that book again, pick up that book and start trying to read it. And they'll remember word for word, especially if there's a book that they hear a lot and hear you read a lot. So here is the first book I'm going to start with is one for infants. These are usually good infants books. They're soft, they're cloth, they get to feel it. That helps. Not only are they dealing with the listening and reading and vocabulary and the verbal part of growing, but it's also they're dealing with the feeling, the exploring. So here this book is called Shake, Look, and Touch. And the child gets to feel. A baby will love this. They get to turn it, and you can wash it in the washing machine or whichever way you watch. Here's another round and round. They get to feel the different texture, which is so important for baby sensory. Can you make a crinkly sound? This sounds like paper, so they would love that. Count the bees. And you're teaching them to count, and you'd be surprised that 1 year old start counting because you count a lot and you read a lot that has to do with counting. One, two, three. And look, who do you see? And they love to see themselves in the mirror. That's very part of getting them to know themselves and exploring themselves and exploring their others, but starting with themselves, so exploring others rather. Three little kittens snuggle up tight. And here, three little kittens rather snuggle up tight. One, two, three. You can count again if you like. You can talk about the color. You can let them feel the texture. Now it's time to say good night, and they get to see the things that are associated with night. And eventually, you'll be surprised. A 1.5, 2 year old can tell you when you think of night, what comes to mind? Stars, moon. I mean, it's one of my favorite career. Working with the children, it's one of my favorite, and one that I've been through a lot of challenges, not because of the children, but because of the adults. But it's one of my favorite, and this is why when I said I'm going to start this business, I could not leave out anything to do with children, because that's how much I love children, and I'm passionate about this part of the career field that I've had over the years. So hopefully you enjoyed this book. You can, as if your mother is pregnant or mother with an infant, you can start off with books like this. And this is so important for developing the child, various senses, mobile skill, reading, listening, seeing, feeling, all their senses. Okay? So I hopefully mothers out there who need a babysitter, who needs a nanny, Just know that I'm someone who's very experienced and knowledgeable about what's important for children to develop and to grow. Thank you. God bless.